Hello, I'm James Smith, Mayor of Cynthiana.
And I'm Tommy Clifford, Cynthiana Harrison County Chamber Director.
And this is
Cynthiana Today. Hey, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the show, and we hope that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Cynthiana Today. You can also like and share on Facebook and share with all your friends and on all your social media outlets.
That's right. Help us get this out to people in Cynthiana and surrounding areas so that they know how awesome our little town is. Tommy, I know you and I both appreciate small towns and our hometown here of Cynthiana.
Right, and there are 5 reasons that we need small towns and hometowns, and we're going to kind of talk about some of that now.
Right, I think this will resonate with people who have called Cynthiana home. Number 1, agriculture and food production almost all happens in rural areas and especially around small towns. Without our small towns and the farmers that we have, America and the world would not get fed.
Right. Also, number 2, energy and natural resources all come from outside our urban areas, from clean air and water to wind and solar power to mining and timber. So much of what we need in society comes from our rural areas.
That's right. And number 3 is that conservation and recreation of wildlife and our natural environment happens in rural areas. And you can just think around Cynthiana with quiet trails and some of the other, our river. A lot of that conservation and recreation happens right here.
Number 4, small towns grow strong people. And we see that every day here. There's countless leaders and people who have changed the world for the better in all fields, and they credit that to their small town upbringing. Small towns and rural kids often show a strong sense of community, a stronger immune systems, and are resilient.
Right, and the last reason why we think small towns matter is that small towns and rural places are perfect for experimenting with new technology. Learning how to implement and regulate it long before it's practical to use in crowded cities. And we see that all these things happening right here in Cynthiana.
There's a reason that we're known as the small town escape for your soul.
Okay, now it's time for our Chamber Spotlight.
Welcome to today's Chamber Spotlight. We're going to touch base today on our Chamber texting line that we have through WCYN. We know how hard it is to stay engaged with your organizations and what's going on, especially if you don't check your email or Facebook very often. So with our texting line, you just text 234-1400, you text the word Chamber, and you'll get weekly alerts of things that are going on within the Chamber. It's a great way to stay up to date and active and engaged with the organization. Looking ahead, we want to give you some dates to look forward to coming up in the Chamber. Kicking it off with May 6th, we're going to have our first leadership conference here in Cynthiana. It'll be held at Ross. It's going to be called The Power of Positive Leadership, How to Transform Your Organization, Business, and Personal Life and Professional Life with positivity. So we're bringing in the keynote speaker with Better Blocks. His name is Jason Roberts. He's the CEO. You can follow him on Facebook or Twitter. He's on there and kind of read a little bit about him, but he's going to kick us off and talking about how to make a difference in your community and your business. Also coming up is our summer concert series that'll kick off on May 8th. The other dates for that are going to be July 10th and August 14th. Also coming up is our Kentucky Hemp Days Festival, which is now in our 3rd year, and that'll be June 6th. Something new this year, we're having a Farmers Rise and Shine breakfast. That'll be held at 9 o'clock that morning, and then the festival from 11 to 4. So go ahead and pencil those dates in as you're working around your summer vacations.
Hey, one of the things we want to do on Cynthiana today is take you to some of the cool places in Cynthiana. Maybe places that you've never been or places that you don't even know about. And today we've got a special place that we think you'll find very interesting.
Hey, we're at the old county courthouse and we're getting ready to go upstairs into the clock tower.
Yes, this courthouse was built in 1853 and the clock and bell tower was added in 1859.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Let's go. Oh, God, this scared me. I'm not going for this.
Okay, here we are. We're inside the mechanical room of the clock. You can see right here all the gears are freshly oiled. It looks like Steve Ewald, who owns Ewald Jewelers, he is actually the one that maintains this and makes sure the time is correct on the clock tower. So if there's ever any problems, he's usually up here taking care of it. But if you kind of look around the room on the writing on the wall, some of the dates that are on this wall, there's a lot of history. There's everything from 1925.
1928. Here's Steve Ewald on Halloween night.
I bet that was super creepy.
I bet it was.
Isn't there a really creepy story about the clock tower?
Yes, during the Civil War, there was a soldier that got trapped up here during the Second Battle of Cynthiana. It was Adjutant Edmund Wood, and while General Morgan was burning the town outside, he was up here, and the Confederates couldn't get him out. But he snuck out that night after the Confederates went to sleep or passed out from being drunk, and made it to the Northern lines from here. There's also rumors of this building being haunted. This is one of the stops on our Cynthiana Ghost Walk, which we do in October of every year.
I wish I had a creepy flashlight, because the story that I always heard was that the soldier, that
Edmund Wood.
Edmund, that he climbed over several soldiers' bodies to get up here to hide. So
So if I turn this light out, you would.
I would probably freak out.
Hey, we would like your help in making Cynthiana today what you want it to be. So if you have suggestions on people we can interview or places that you'd like to know a little bit more about, send us a comment. That concludes this week's episode of Cynthiana Today. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
We hope you tune in next week. We're going to take a tour of our local museum and give you all the updates of our community award winners from the 2020 Vision Banquet.
Like I said, this building was built in 1858. Like I said, this building was...
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. We're inside what is it called? Mechanics?
Clock room.
Okay.
The mechanical room.
I know you're confused. We're bringing in Jason Roberts with Building Better
Blocks.
I'm terrible at this.
No, you... How did I start that?
No, I feel like you're the
Hey,
slowest counter.
you said
in the
like,
world.
hey, that concludes this week's Cynthiana Today.
Hey, right now we're going to go visit our friend Stephanie Burden, the executive director of the main... Hey, now we're going to take a visit to our Main Street director, Stephanie Burden.
Are you counting in your head, or?
I don't know. When I start to count, then I lose track of what I'm going to say. So you count for me like I did. I never knew counting to 3 would be so hard.
Are you ready?
Oh, people places. This was your idea, so you should do this. Hey, we want you to help us make Cynthiana Today a great program. Hugely successful.
Hey, we want to know what you guys think about Cynthiana Today and kind of get ideas of where you'd like to go next. Where you'd like us to go next. Okay. Hey, no, I don't want to start out with hey. You do it. Just say we want them to comment, but not comment about us.
Keep your criticism to yourself.
Hey, we're at the old court. No. What'd you tell me to say? Old courthouse.
County courthouse.
Old county.
Got it.
Signing off.
See ya. We need a tagline that we end.
Yeah, you do.
I told you, Barbara Walters.
This has been.
This is 2020. I mean, it really is.